Hello YouTube, and welcome to a tutorial on how to make a single player friendly locking from the inside or outside redstone piston door. The reason I say that this is single player friendly is because it would be easy for a person in a PvP server to figure out how to unlock your door and get inside. However, you could do some methods which I might talk about later on how this could be SMP friendly, but as of now I am only recommending this for single player worlds. So let us get started. First off, I should mention that the three colored blocks behind me are going to represent different things in this tutorial. This will be a layer by layer tutorial. Yellow blocks will represent blocks that need to have some sort of redstone on them. White blocks will be non-specific blocks. You could use any sort of block for this except for transparent blocks such as glowstone or glass or half slabs. And gray will represent the layer that we did previous. So you'll know that once we move from layer 1 to layer 2, all of the blocks that we placed on layer 1 will be represented by gray, so that way you can see what are the new blocks a bit easier that you need to place. And finally, light green blocks will represent blocks that will be pushed or pulled by sticky pistons. So now let's find out what sort of area that we need to dig out to be able to make this door go smoothly. So let's say that you want to enter your redstone door from this way. If this is the way that you want to enter it, facing this direction, you will need a 8 block wide, I should say, area, 4 blocks tall, and 9 blocks long area. Again, that's 8 wide by 4 tall by 9 blocks long area. So once you've done that, let's continue on to the next part of the tutorial. So starting with layer 1, again assuming that you are facing the way that you would like to enter this base or whatever you're building, this should be the 8 block long or wide part. So let me just fly up above this, and you can pause this probably about here and go ahead and place down these repeaters facing, if you're placing these repeaters, you'd be facing this way, placing those repeaters. So you can go ahead and pause this and duplicate this. Moving right along with layer 2, again, assuming that we are facing the direction that you would like to enter your base, this is the 8 wide part of the cutout. Go ahead and fly above this. As you can see, we've added a few blocks here. Starting from the top left, you'll see 2 blocks with redstone dust placed on top of it. If you move below that, you'll see 3 blocks with redstone dust placed on top of it. You'll then have to place this sticky piston at the very edge with a block in front of it. You make sure to place this sticky piston facing this direction so it extends this way. Once you place that sticky piston, we've got another block here with a redstone torch in front of it, a block here with a redstone torch on the side of it, and a block here with redstone dust on top of it. So go ahead, you can go ahead and pause the video here and place these blocks as you see them, and we'll move on to the next layer. Continuing on with layer 3, again assuming that you are facing the direction that you'd like to enter your base, this way. Let's go ahead and fly up here, and now we will have placed a few more blocks on top of the last layer. As you can see, there is now a non-specific white block, which is to block the current from those previous wires from looping around and linking up with each other. Again, so that must be a non-transparent block. It must be a solid block. So you'll place 2 blocks on top of the piston on your left-hand side with redstone wiring on top of it. You'll then place a block on this left side in between the gap here with a torch on top of it. You will then place blocks on top of the end of each of these 2 long redstone wires with a stone pressure plate, and then you will just continue staircasing up with redstone wire on that side. So you can see all this. Go ahead and pause it and place those blocks, and we'll continue on with the next layer. Now we are on layer 4. Assuming again that you are facing the direction that you would like to enter your base, you will fly above this, and you will place some more blocks. This time you will have to place a piston where you see it placed, with a block behind it with a redstone torch powering that piston. 3 blocks on your left hand side with redstone wiring on top of that. Let me just get a little better view here for you. And finally, keep staircasing up over there with redstone wiring on top of it. And once you have those blocks placed, we may continue on to the next layer. Just go ahead and pause it here if you need to, and place those blocks as shown. Okay, moving along to the final layer, layer 5. Again, assuming that you are facing the direction that you'd like to enter your base, the 8 block wide side, we'll go ahead and fly above here. We will need to place a few blocks and 1 sticky piston. Place a block above this redstone torch that is underneath here. Then place a piston. Make sure you're facing this way so the piston extends out the way that it's extended, and then placing a block connected to that piston. Then you'll need to place 2 more blocks, one at the end of this 3 long redstone wiring with a lever on the side of it, and one over here at the top of the staircase with a lever on the side of it as well. So you shouldn't have to pause for too long here. There's only about 4 blocks and 1 piston to place. But go ahead and pause it if you need to, and then I'll explain how this thing works. So now that you have completed the redstone placement process, I will now explain to you why and how this is working. So what we have over here with this piston is an XNOR latch. What an XNOR latch is that it says that regardless of either 1 or 2 of your inputs, regardless of their state of on or off, the output will always flip in between on or off. So right now the output, which is this wiring right here, comes from here, leads up to here, and leads to this block here. Right now the output is on. Basically, when this output is on, it's always keeping this block powered, which turns this redstone torch off, which allows this redstone torch right here to be powered, which is keeping these pistons extended, which is basically the lock. Since this redstone torch is allowed to constantly be powered from the XNOR latch, it's keeping the piston extended, and when it retracts is when the door opens. So when the output is true is when the door is locked. Now, how the door opens is by turning the output of the XNOR latch to false. Now the pistons are still extended from this redstone torch here. However, since it's hooked up to a block that is also hooked up to these redstone wires, when we step on this redstone wire and power that block, it will shut off the torch, which will shut off the wire, which will allow this redstone lamp or redstone torch to be powered, which will then power this block, which will then shut off this redstone torch, removing the power from this block, and retracting both pistons. So I'll show you that really quick. You step on it, and it retracts. So, let's say you're leaving your base. So you've left your base, and now you don't want any creepers to get in your base. Flip the switch, go on your journey, you come back, creepers, skeletons, whatever else cannot get into your base. Unlock it. As you can see, the output of the XNOR gate flips and allows you to enter. So now you're inside your base. Now that you're inside, you want to lock it again, so nothing can wander inside. The output of the XNOR is now turned on, and nothing can get inside. So this is the basic principle, as well as, this is the one input hooked up from here down to here, which is altering the output here, and the other input is hooked up from here, going from here, and altering the output here. So that's the basic principle behind this, why it works, how it works, and the reason why I said that this isn't very SMP friendly is because someone could easily be like, oh, I wonder what this does. Flip it, oh look, the base opened. But the reason why I said it might be able to be friendly in SMP is if you, from the outside, just took this wiring and took this off in some crazy route on top of a mountain, inside of a cave, behind a block of dirt or something, you could take this output and put the locking mechanism somewhere very random. Also, if you're having trouble due to lag getting into or out of your base, you can remove where those are at, as well as these two outside redstone blocks. Place the new blocks above it. Place your stone pressure pads there, and it still works all the same. And now it's locked. Switch, it's unlocked. It's locked. Lock it from the inside. There you go. So you can do that if you are having trouble getting in and out of your base due to maybe some lag, or if you just like it like that. I don't like it like that. It's a little bit too close, a little bit too cramped for my style. I like it to be extended out to here. But that's just me. I was just showing you that that is an option. Alright, so finally for this tutorial, I figured I would show you what isn't really much of a tutorial part, but I've just sort of made a little mock-up of the whole design here with regular blocks instead of wool, and it works just the same. Unlock over here, opens and closes it, and that still locks it. So I'm going to go ahead and speed this part up and cover this up and show you how I would conceal all of this.